contains some spoilers for Twin Peaks: The Return. Not since The Sopranos came to its black-screen finale in 2007 has any televisual ending generated as much online heat as the final part of Twin Peaks: The Return. In the 11 days since its broadcast, fans and critics have offered the hot takes, scalding takes, lukewarm takes, and lightly baked takes on just what the hell it all meant when Cooper asked what year it was, and Laura Palmer let out that blood-curdling shriek. But as the bedroom theorizing subsided, the question on most fans' lips was simple: will there be another season? And since no one, including the show's US network Showtime, has said anything definitive on the subject, it remains a legitimate talking point. The likelihood of more peaks. Just like there were two sides to Cooper in The Return, there are two sides to the question of more peaks. Firstly, the key issue is whether creators David Lynch and Mark Frost have the inclination to write another season, after making 18 hours of television drama. Lynch is 71, Frost is 63. Together, they wrote the entirety of The Return, and Lynch directed all 18 episodes as well as playing Gordon Cole and even contributing to the sound design. You could hardly blame them if they do indeed decide that it's not happening again, to misquote the giant. There was a happy ending for the Jones family in Twin Peaks: The Return. Photo Showtime. However, this week Lynch gave fans the sliver of hope they craved. In his first public appearance since the finale, he refused to give a conclusive answer about a further season, but left the door open. When asked if there would be a fourth season, he didn't exactly say yes or no. Instead, his answer could be read as a warning not to hold our breath. "It took me 4.5 years to write and film this season," he told an audience in Serbia via Skype, as reported by Welcome to Twin Peaks. Lynch on Audrey's fate. "What matters is what you believe happened," Lynch said, when asked what happened to Sherilyn Fenn's character. "Many things in life just happen and we have to come to our own conclusions. You can, for example, read a book that raises a series of questions, and you want to talk to the author, but he died 100 years ago. That's why everything is up to you." So even if Lynch and Frost decide to revisit the Roadhouse once again, it won't be any time soon. Then again, we waited a quarter of a century for season 3, so anything's possible. The second part of the question is whether Showtime would agree to another season. While The Return has been described as the most groundbreaking TV series ever, it wasn't exactly a ratings hit, averaging just 2 million viewers per episode. But to fixate on ratings, which the likes of Netflix don't release anyway, is misguided in itself. The show has huge lasting value for the network, a complete box set that will generate repeat business over many years. And then there's the prestige. Notably, Lynch walked away from The Return early in pre-production, but came back on board when Showtime chief David Nevins agreed to meet his budgetary needs. Like HBO and Netflix, Showtime can now confidently say that they give filmmakers creative freedom, that they let auteurs do the thing. Which does matter in the increasingly competitive TV industry. Showtime will need to clear a pretty big space on the mantelpiece before 2018 Emmys come around. The Return was broadcast too late for this year's awards, and the prestige of having the show on its slate could tempt the network to try to sign Lynch and Frost on for more. Should there be another season of Twin Peaks? Much of the interest in another season of Twin Peaks is understandably driven by fans' desire for answers, for closure, for resolutions. All of which are of no interest to Lynch. You can almost guarantee that if a fourth season of Twin Peaks is ever made, it will only layer on the mystery, adding more passages to the unruly maze of intrigue that grew over the course of The Return. I just allowed it to be what it was. Audrey's dance in Twin Peaks: The Return. Photo Showtime. Lynch, perhaps to his credit, isn't interested in satisfying fans. Yes, Cooper did finally, triumphantly, wake up from his Dougie Jones stupor. "I'm the FBI," but we were left hanging when it came to the fate of Audrey, last seen staring into a mirror in an anonymous white room. If the bequeathed filmmaker does indeed decide to devote much of his 70s to Twin Peaks, it will be anything but self-congratulatory, and answers won't be forthcoming. Lynch doesn't know how to play it safe, and whether he feels he has the will to attack the Twin Peaks mythology with the same creative vigor, to explore new storylines and characters, will likely be the deciding factor. Would the cast return? Some of the cast themselves are openly keen. When I asked Sherilyn Fenn recently if she would be interested in a fourth season, if the enigmatic Lynch did return, she replied positively, "Oh yeah. He said if people loved it he would do another one, and the hardest part is just sitting down and writing it. But he had so much fun this time, he really loved it. And he got to do it the way he wanted to. It's like an 18-hour movie, so he's happy. Let's just stay positive. Lynch muse Laura Dern, who played Diane, would also jump at the chance. He'll never say no to David, and he'll never say no to Diane because now I've fallen in love with her, she told Entertainment Weekly earlier this month. So it would be impossible for me not to want to be part of any journey he wants to take. Then again, Kyle MacLachlan poured some cold water on the rumors, telling Deadline last week, well, I know for a fact there are no discussions for more Twin Peaks. That's where that is. Twin Peaks, assemble photo showtime. Another factor is the passage of time itself. Several cast members passed away before the return was broadcast, including Miguel Ferrer, Albert Rosenfield and Catherine E. Coulson. Margaret Lanterman, the Log Lady. While Lynch did introduce a host of younger characters in the return, it's doubtful that all of the older actors would still be available, or indeed willing, to reprise the roles in 4 or 5 years' time. So at the moment it seems the prospect of more Twin Peaks is unlikely to distant, but that won't stop the fans clamoring for that 4th season. Twin Peaks: The Return is available to watch on Now TV. Parts 17-18 How David Lynch Gave Us 2 Endings. Part 16 David Lynch transcended TV drama in one stunning hour. Part 15 David Lynch gave fans what they wanted, but not how they expected. Part 14 The show's unlikely new hero. Part 13 How the sound runs much deeper than James Hurley's vocals. Part 12 The 2 scenes that say a lot about the return. Part 11 Let's talk about that double R diner scene. Part 10 Is this the most unconventional love story on TV? Part 9 William Hastings is the new Leland Palmer. Part 8 The one where David Lynch defied the critics. Part 6 Dougie's story has divided viewers, but it's classic Lynch. Part 5 Talking Points Amanda Seyfried, Dougie's Day at the Office and Dr. Amp. Parts 3 and 4 Talking Points Michael Cera, David Duchovny and Golden Shovels. Parts 1 and 2 A fantastically nightmarish comeback. Twin Peaks, similar shows to watch if you're a fan. Twin Peaks still the one TV show that can't be neatly explained. Quiz: how well do you remember Twin Peaks? Every returning Twin Peaks character, and where we left them.